Hey everyone, today this is going to be a great video because we're talking about how to use an on-camera flash without getting those pesky shadows. This video is perfect for those people who don't have the luxury of a lighting studio. I'm going to show you 4 ways on how to fix this problem, so stick around and let's get to it. Okay, as you can see, I've got this set up. So we've got a plant in front of a wall here, which is a blank wall. We've got overhead lights on, so there are shadows being cast on the plant from the overhead lights. I've got a YN563 speed light flash on here, which is a Yongyo flash. It's cheap as chips, they're about $100, maybe even less. I originally bought them when I started out in the hope that I would upgrade to Canon flashes as time went on, but I don't need to, these are just great. And I'm using an EOS R Canon mirrorless camera. And just to let you know my settings on the camera at the moment, I've got ISO 400, I'm at 2.2 f-stop, and I'm at 100 shutter speed. The flash is down low at 132, it's pretty low, right? So let's take a shot of this plant and see what we get. That's over flashed big time, so let's bring that flash right down to say 1/28th of a second. And as you can see from that photo, the shadows are pretty distinct. They're quite obvious around the stool and around the leaves of the plant. So the first thing I would try, if I can't alleviate those shadows, is I would move that subject away from the wall. So let's do that. So we're going twice the distance away from the wall now, and I'll squeeze here and get a photo. If you look at the comparison between that one and the last one, apart from the fact I'm much closer, is that the shadows are softer and further away. So the reason you're getting these photos is when you point your flash directly at an object, the object is blocking the light, so it creates a shadow behind it because the flash hits it and spreads, but it creates this perfect shadow right behind it. So what we want to do is we want to alleviate that as much as we can. So you can do that with one of these, which is a plastic diffuser you can buy to fit these flashes, or any flash really. There is a diffuser built into these flashes, but they don't work as good as these do. So this thing just pops over the top, just like that, and sits there, and I'll pretty much leave it on there all the time. So we take this photo again with the exact same settings as I just had, and we'll see what we get. Now, if you compare that one to the last one, the main difference is that the actual light is diffused, it's not as harsh, and the shadows are even softer. But there is something else we can do to make this even better. Let's point the flash straight up, because the best diffuser you can have is the ceiling. So what happens is the flash will hit that ceiling, soften, and come down in a blanket. Let's see if we can see any difference. First of all, the flash needs to be turned up. So we're going to go up to 130 second instead of from 128 to 130 seconds. So we've gone up 2 stops on the flash. And now we've got an image that looks pretty good compared to the last one. It's more evenly lit and the shadows are very, very faint. So if you had to remove the background in this image for whatever marketing purposes you had, this would be the way to do it. But there's one more thing we can try to even make those shadows even less, and that is to turn your flash backwards and up towards the corner. So it hits that corner, diffuses and comes backwards in a blanket. The good thing about this is that if you want to light one side of your subject, depending on which corner you point it at, you can get that shadow on one side and light on the other, so it gives you a bit more control. If you just want to blanket something with light, then go up and down. But if you want to light one side or the other, you can do it this way. So let's try this. Now, if you look at this image, you can see that the shadows are very, very faint like they were before. I did turn the flash up a little bit. I just bumped it up a tiny bit just to give it a bit more oomph. But you can see that the left side of the image, the leaves, are lit a lot better than when it was flashed from above. But the shadows haven't increased at all. In fact, they've gotten a bit softer. And this is the preferred way I like to do it. I like to bounce it off a corner of a room because it gives you that more control. It lights your subject better, and you also have the fact that the shadows almost dissipate completely. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful, click on the video just here about lenses. I did a review on some lenses that are perfect for Canon beginners, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.